After you've chosen articles for your paper, read them, and taken notes, it's time to put it all together. This part of the writing process is also known as synthesis. Synthesis means combining multiple sources to provide an overall perspective on a given topic. You're not just summarizing each of your sources. By synthesizing them together, you're helping your reader to see how the articles are similar or different and how they each support the overall point you're trying to make with your paper. So what you're trying to do is zoom out to help your reader see the big picture. Help them make connections between the various elements that play a role in whatever situation, population, or problem you're writing about. Because you're synthesizing them with your writing, the articles you find don't all have to be exactly the same or make exactly the same point. You will use your writing to connect or weave them together. As you read and take notes on your articles, look for themes among them. Avoid what I call the book report syndrome. Don't just repeat what the author said in the article. Show your reader that you fully understand the topic and how your multiple sources support your understanding. Your goal is to create a new cohesive idea or argument by bringing together and interpreting multiple sources. There's a book you may have used in other classes before called They Say, I Say, The Moves That Matter in Academic Writing. It was written by UIC faculty members, and it's a great book. It provides guidance on how to synthesize multiple readings into your academic papers. It gives helpful templates for how to describe what they say, with they being the authors whose articles you're citing. So looking at the second example here, I'm creating my own sentence that describes how both of these authors critique the U.S. healthcare system. Rather than just repeating what the author said, I'm making my own point and using my sources to support that point. Here's another example of how you can pull together multiple sources that might not agree with one another. In discussions of the Affordable Care Act, one controversial issue has been the individual mandate. On the one hand, Jane argues that it's unconstitutional. However, many scholars effectively maintain that it is not. Notice how, again, we're using sources to support the overall point I'm trying to make, rather than simply summarizing each source. Another thing I find helpful is to look at the introduction sections of scholarly journal articles. These sections are sometimes called background or literature review, and they're great examples of how to synthesize or pull together multiple sources into an essay. The authors provide context in their introduction sections and demonstrate how the sources relate to one another. Here's an example of an introduction section from an article on COVID-19 and health disparities among older adults. The first sentence of the paragraph provides an introduction, so here's the overall point that this paragraph is making. The authors then give us 4 different sources and explain how they all support that point. Each of the sources is there for a reason, and they all work together to form a cohesive point of view on the topic. Remember that writing takes time, so give yourself enough time to really read and understand your sources before you start writing. And along those same lines, when you read the articles, take notes, and then when you're writing up your paper, work from your notes. This all helps you get a better understanding of the topic and avoid just repeating what's in the articles with no critical thought of your own, which can be easy to do if you're trying to write your paper while looking at the article itself. And finally, do your best to connect the dots for your reader. A research topic is like a puzzle made up of different pieces of information. Use your writing to connect those puzzle pieces and show the reader how they work together.